I'm going to do a quick kind of a guide or a playthrough or the rules or whatever for the game, Oblivion engine, and the whole design pillar for it was to simulate an action RPG, specifically PoE2. I wanted tremendous build diversity was the main thing. I wanted to eliminate all the fiddly-faddly stupid mechanics, the things that just make my brain hurt. Games like Gloomhaven and just about all games, in my opinion, have an unnecessary amount of tedious little things you have to deal with. The tedious thing in this game is combat, calculating the damage. So the first step is we're going to pick our class, and there are 6 classes. We got the Scion, Singularity, the Lux, the Titan, Astromancer, and the Seraphim. They all have their own very unique mechanics. In this example, I'm going to pick the Seraphim. It's kind of like a paladin character, and it's my favorite one because it does a lot of damage, and it also is a great support character for others. The next step, we're going to get our 4 skill cards. So basically, you're starting off with no weapons, and the no weapon set is your gauntlets. Each class has their own unique skills. Then a full build is you'll have 3 utility skills, the 4 skills from your primary weapon, and you'll have 4 skills from your secondary weapon, and our gauntlets here. And then you'll have 3 profession skills, and each profession has 6 skills to choose from. So this would essentially be a full build. You have 14 cards in a full build, and it seems like a lot, but the skills are fairly straightforward. It's not, in my personal opinion, it's not as brain bleeding as trying to figure out the top and the bottom of skills from Gloomhaven. And then we're going to get our enemy damage trackers. We could have 2 enemies, 2 of the same enemies. We could have 4 of the same enemies. You got 1, 2, and you flip it over to enemy 3 and 4. So that makes it easy to track 4 different of the same enemy. We got our logic slides. So the logic slides are placed over the behavior cards, and it reveals a specific either above 50% hit point or below. So these are the 3 actions above 50% hit points. These are the actions below. And when you put the logic slide, it'll reveal a specific one depending on how many hit points it has. And then each logic slide has its own modifier. So this represents the initiative, just like the initiative on the skill cards are here. The lower the initiative, the earlier you go. After I have chosen, I have 3 action points to spend. In addition, you get to move 3 or however many action points you have at the beginning of the round. So there's gear that you can get that increases your action points to move. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play Ignis Divinum and Celestial Signal. You can use the initiative of either card to determine your turn order, but cards, and it doesn't have to be the first card played. Skill cards are played sequentially, so you've got your primary effect at the top here, and you got your secondary effect. So it would go primary, secondary. Then I'm going to put the logic slides over the enemy cards over here. I know that I'm going to go first because both of these skills are faster than these. This skill gives me a fly 3, and of course I have my other 3 movement. So basically I'm going to move 1, 2, 3, fly over her head, and then I'm going to use my other 3 to go 1, 2 here. And then this skill, I'm going to drop a sigil, and that sigil does 6 fire damage right off the rip. So I'm going to put the sigil under me and the technician, and that sigil is going to remain until the end of the round. So the next skill that I'm going to use has an AoE, so it blasts out sort of like a cone of damage, but it does 2 times 1 fire damage. So we're up to skill 1 does 6, and then this one's going to do 2 more fire. And then if I'm targeting a sigil, which I am, it's going to do an additional 2. That means I'm going to do a total of 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That means I'm going to move it from 22 to 12. That's my turn. When you get through playing your skill cards, they go on cooldown. Then when you don't have any more cards left, you take the cards off cooldown, but you only get one action point the following round. Now we're going to resolve the enemies. And if you see, you reveal their behavior. So +2, and then they have a 4, so they all move 6. And then they're going to do 3 damage. It's going to move here. This one's going to move 1, 2, here. And then they're both going to attack for 3 damage. But the skill is going to knock Ea away. So we're going to move. This is the first one because they're numbered and they move in order. So when this one hits, it's going to go boom, boom, knock her over here. Now she's out of range of this one. So kind of screwed herself over. You can see that it has the knockback. Now the shaman is going to focus on me because, so the shaman's attack is a range 4, 2 damage with a +1 movement modifier. The way ranged units work is they try to get as far away as they can and still be in range to use their skill. So that's the strategy. It's going to go 1, 2. So now it's going to have a range 4 and it's going to shoot me for 2 damage. But she's going to heal herself for 2. So now she's back up to 9. So now we got the next round. Now I'm going to use this one. I've got my 3 movement, right? So I need to try to either kill this thing, which I can't do, or I can try to get over here to help Ea, and that's what I'm going to try to do. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. If you're adjacent to enemies, then they're going to automatically attack you. I'm going to drop another sigil at range 3. I know that these dummies are going to attack me, so I'm going to put another sigil up underneath myself. Can't quite get it onto her, but it doesn't matter. So I'm fixing to buff myself up. I'm fixing to add 4 defense, 2, 3, 4, and then this one is going to let me shoot a fireball out. So I'm going to shoot the fire out. I can't hit both of them, but I can hit one of them. Enemy number 1 with a fireball. It does 1 damage. That's easy to calculate. I don't need that. So we're going to drop that one down to 13. But I'm going to be armored up, son. So I'm going to add 1 more armor. So for a total of 5. And I'm going to heal myself 1 with this. And since I'm on top of a sigil, I'm going to heal myself another 2. But I'm back at max in. I'm going to add another 2 defense. So now it's going to be the enemy's turn. And they've got a +1 damage modifier. A move 3, 2 damage. So they're going to do 3 damage. But it's going to knock me back. So 1's going to go boom. I can't go any farther because that'll be against her. That's going to take 2 of my defense. And then this one's going to attack, take 2 more of my defense. But it's going to knock me in this direction. 1, 2. Now the shaman's going to, it has a move 2. And then a range 3, and it's going to heal itself 2. 1, 2. Not in range. It's got that 1, 2, 3. It's going to heal itself 2. That's the end of that round. Lose all of my defense. Remove the sigil. Ea, I keep forgetting, she's going to heal herself 2. So she's back to full life. So this is the 3rd round, right? So that's the end of it. As soon as we finish this round, that'll be the end of this objective. So at the end of the 3rd round, EA restores the beam gate. The encounter ends. Just for the sake of brevity, I'm going to proceed to the next phase of the adventure so you don't have to watch another round. Now we're going to pull down location 1, first steps. We're going to put our cube right here at the start node. I tried to simulate an open world as best I could, and that means you can go wherever you want to go. I could either have 2 options now. I could either try to tackle a mini boss which I certainly, well, I might be able to, but I'm not going to do that. Anyway, I'm going to move to C2, the Chimera Swarm, but I'm not going to do another one. I would like to show you how the rewards work, but if we won this one, and we're going to say that I won this one, if I'm successful, then I get these 10 fragments, and fragments are the primary resource, and I get to draw one common skill modifier. So I'm just going to randomly choose common skill modifier. I'm going to have 10 fragments from this victory, and just because I get this skill modifier doesn't mean I can automatically use it. I still have to spend 5 of my 10 fragments to actually learn it. Doesn't do any damage. So this one. So now when I use this skill, it'll also apply 1 bleed. I'm going to go to the next node 3. While I'm there, I'm going to put the next location card there, and I can go here, which I'm going to do that, and I'm going to go here to the hub. So when you get to a hub in new location, you basically open that hub up. So I'm going to put a cube there, and it means that once I get to this hub, then I can teleport between those easily. But now I'm going to go back here, and I'm going to go to E3, the maintenance shafts. Okay, so after I get through reading the flavor or the explanation, I get to pick. So I want to force the storage unit or investigate the cooling tunnels. I'm going to force the storage unit because why the heck not? So I get to draw another common skill modifier. Now remember, I've got 5 fragments left, so I can add that. I can go ahead and learn it and add it. I'm going to add it to this one because this is another skill that doesn't do a lot of damage. So now I'm beefing up my character with this. Now, next we're going to investigate the cooling tunnels. Place sublocation 1 cooling tunnels on the table. Sublocation 1. So now basically I'm underground in a whole new location. The next event is SE1. Yeah, so SE1 cooling tunnels. Alright, so the tunnel runs down. I'm not going to read it anyway. So access, there's a panel, obviously. You can either, if you have prototype gear, you can force it open without losing 3 hit points. Or I can force it open and lose 3 hit points. And this is really dangerous to lose life down here because I can't get it back. There's nowhere to get it back until I get here. So I'm going to have to go through this encounter with 3 less hit points. I want to access the panel. And there's the cooling tunnels. So access the panel. The seal breaks with a violent crack and the panel tears free in a shower of sparks. Ancient systems awaken through the tunnel as the damaged screen struggles to life. Corrupted files race across the display before stabilizing into an emergency command interface. Lower containment active. Ascension candidate unstable. Multiple host signatures detected. Purge authorization available. The surviving records confirm that something living was sealed in the lower chamber. After repeated containment failures, one final command remains active and the system waits for your decision. So, I get to choose one. I can review the logs or I can initiate a purge protocol. Now the game, one of the important things about this game is there is purity and corruption. And you earn these purity and corruption points by doing good things versus bad things. And these have massive effects on events and other allies and people you run into. Some people will attack you on sight. The heck with it. I'll just go ahead and do it. So I'm going to purge protocol. You authorize the emergency sequence. Warning sirens roar through the tunnel. Is deep systems, and this is this decision impacts the game in a really serious way down the road. But anyway, I'm getting 10 fragments, so that's good. And I get quest card Q20, Purge Protocol. So this is the Purge Protocol. When you access the sealed terminal, then I'm not going to read it. But anyway, so I immediately gain one more corruption for being such a dummy. Yeah, people are going to hate me. That messes up. Yeah, that messes a lot of things up, but whatever. And quests have juicing effects, kind of. So before any encounter in location 1, you can begin the round with 1 extra AP. And like I said, if you start with an extra AP, that means you get to move 1 additional. And then 1 enemy begins with a 1+ burn. Anyway, but if I can win, I get 50 fragments if I can complete this quest. So I'm going to keep that over here. And then I'll proceed to the next encounter, which is SC1. The tunnel feeders. But I'm not going to do another map. But there's objectives here, and I think that's a pretty good overview of the game. It's super simple. There's a lot of progression in your build, but other than that, the game's fairly straightforward, or at least it is for me, and I made it. But let me know what you think.